how many people just got arrested?
It's so ironic.
You know, allegedly arrested.
Yeah.
I heard LeBron's name, but he ain't arrested.
No.
Big surprise.
And he won't be.
Of course not.
We've discussed in the past how Jordan's gambling habits back in the day, it was nothing for him to go out there and drop hundreds of thousands of dollars.
The 18 months that he spent in baseball is
Yeah.
allegedly a suspension.
Right.
People think his father got murdered because of his gambling debts.
Terry Rozier, he faced 8 million tax lien from the IRS in 2023. And he's in this thing with the whole fix thing.
Timing of it is kind of peculiar too, right? The FBI's taking shrapnel on a bunch of other things.
I think the FBI is trying to become a superstar. The Damon Jones aspect of this story. His alleged issue is that he shared the information that Mr. LBJ was not going to play the next day, and he would share that information out to those people.
Podcast twins back in the twin cave. Vince, how you doing today, brother?
Hey man, it's another day in the cave, which makes it a great day. So of course I gotta do me a favor, guys. Just click the subscribe button. We are coming close to another milestone as far as our subscribers, especially on YouTube. Please go ahead and follow us on Spotify, the Facebook page. All of the back episodes have been loaded up on the Podcast Twins page. So please, you don't have an excuse to miss any of it. And one last request. If you could just let us know what you think about it. We don't give a damn if you like it, if you hate it. Just leave us a comment. Let us know what's happening.
Say we're wrong about everything. Say we're right about everything. Say we're right about some things and not others. We want to hear your opinions.
That's it. So anyway, Brother Drew, what's on your mind today, man?
You know, I pulled off a miracle.
Okay.
A mini miracle, let's say. I have an opportunity to go to Las Vegas for a week. My father-in-law is selling his timeshare at the end of the year, and he can't use this week, so we got to go to Vegas for a week. And then the question becomes, do you take the kids? Do you not take the kids? What do you do with the dog? I have not been on a vacation with just my wife for a week period in a very long time. I don't even remember, the dates.
Well,
so
I will tell you one thing. I just don't think you're that good a human being to tell this person, I can't take your timeshare. I mean, you're just not that good a human. I just don't understand what it is, but I think you must, accept that gift. And then I want you to follow one more thing. It's called the FTK protocol.
All right, go ahead. FTK me up.
Yeah, so you was wondering whether you should just go along with the wife or take the kids. Fuck them kids, man. Go ahead and go with the wife, man. FTK protocol. Let's go.
So
go and enjoy.
I have a barter system with my dog sitting.
Right.
So my boy Rob can take care, and his wife Suzette can take care of Max.
Dog's
so he's
covered.
all covered. That was the easy part. Then I did a little, let's say, maneuvering around with some neighbors and some grandparents, grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
And I got everybody covered.
Oh,
so Crystal and I, 1 week in Las Vegas. Now, we do Vegas
he
a
was
little.
already FTK.
It's already done. It's already done.
All right.
Because we're twins, so we think the
already.
same, right?
Locked in.
Love my kids. Haven't been on a vacation without them in a long time.
Absolutely.
I'm taking this one. Now, we do Vegas a little differently than most people because I lived there for 3 years.
Right.
One thing you may not know about me is I proposed to my wife at the top of Red Rock Canyon.
You
when we
did
were
say
hiking.
that. You did say that.
And so that's kind of a special place for us. So we'll be going back there. But we do UTV riding in the desert. We'll go. We have a little piece of land that she bought when we were first dating.
Okay.
6 acres, very inexpensive in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, like an hour and a half from Vegas. And we just want to kind of go out there and see if people are building around our little piece of empty land there.
Hot ass paradise.
Hot ass paradise. So we'll do that one day.
When you go to Red Rock, bro, don't come back with a new baby, okay?
No more babies.
No more babies.
I took care of that.
Okay.
I can't make babies anymore.
Okay,
I'm retired from that sport.
So basically, you clipped D's nuts.
Something like that. Something.
He's
like
here all
that.
week, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy bartenders and waitresses.
That was your joke, not mine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
I was already doing my.
Thank
you, Detroit. We love you.
My only concern is I hope my wife still likes me after the 3rd day because we have opposite schedules,
yes.
so I don't spend that much time with her.
Right.
So I know she can take me in small doses,
right.
but I can be a lot in a large dose.
That's That's an oxymoron, and I love to hear it.
So,
Big things come in small packages.
hey.
So listen, Vegas is Vegas, man. You can go out there and have a good time, especially being as though that you know the lay of the land because you lived out there. You're not just going to be like most of us, get out there and hit the strip and just go out there and do it. I do Vegas different too because I'm not a big gambler.
Okay.
So I find all the other cool things to do while I'm out there. So
This is like a commercial for Las Vegas. They should be paying us.
they
for
really
this.
should. They should.
All right.
Hint, hint. Viva Las Vegas. But anyway,
Clark County's writing
Right.
the checks right now. They're mailing them.
So anyway, man, I when you get out there, I want you to maximize it because, like you said, y'all don't get to do it that often, man. And hey, you got to test those waters, see if she do like you after 7 days. But hey,
I think it's actually 8 days.
Okay.
I think it's actually 8 days.
man,
So,
that's a good vacation, brother.
well, when you do
Well
gamble,
deserved.
the little bit of gambling that you do, what's
Yeah.
your game of
I'm a
choice?
blackjack guy.
You're a blackjack guy.
I'm blackjack.
Okay.
Are
you basic strategy, advanced? Are you trying, and don't, for entertainment purposes
Right.
only, are you counting cards? Like, what are you doing out
No,
there?
no, I play my hand, and I have my own standards as far as when I hit, when I hold, and I just go like that because I'm not that good. Again, I don't play to that level, so I just play my hand.
So the
sometimes.
casino's taking your money in the long run. For
Actually,
sure.
I do decent because
Yeah. You know how to get up when you're up.
I get up when I'm
Okay.
up. The moment I'm up, I walk. I'm not the one that loses.
Okay.
Now on the digital video games, oh yeah, man, I stay there and I go bust all the time.
Oh, sucker bets.
Yeah, because I'm also learning how to play Hold'em, Texas Hold'em, because I never played Hold'em before. Because I'm old school, man. I played a 5-card stud, 5-card draw.
Yeah.
I'm great with that.
Yeah.
But this Hold'em thing is too many betting opportunities and all this stuff. You can go broke so fast in this. So even playing it on the video game, man, it's mind blowing.
All in. Push
All
them
in,
chips
baby.
in,
all
man.
in.
Let's go.
And then next thing you know, they talking about you got to come back in 2 days when they give you more free chips. So anyway, I'm learning how to do it because I do have now a table. That's for the Hold'em. So I said I got chips and all this. So I got to have a card night at the house with the fellas.
Okay. Yeah, I like to play poker when I'm in Vegas because if you play poker in Vegas at the right time at the right table, you got 9 wasted people.
Okay.
And you.
Right.
So you have a much better chance of beating people that are obliterated on alcohol than you do the dealer or the croupier and craps, which is the best odds in the house, or baccarat, which I don't know how to play.
Don't know it.
So I stick to Hold'em. I am not the greatest poker player in the world, but if it's me against 9 drunks, I like my chances.
Okay.
And I'm like you. If I'm up double my money,
I'm out.
I stand up and I walk. I tell you what I've lost the most money on, despite having a couple great runs during March Madness a few times when I was out there, is sports betting.
Oh, listen, man. Sports betting is that's a sensitive subject for me because I'm great at it when I'm great, but man, when the wind turns, it's bad. But because I don't lose well, I do stop.
Well, here's why I don't want to bet on sports when I'm in Vegas.
Okay, talk to me.
Because I don't know which side has the fix paid for.
Well, that's always been the question, right? So the only difference is now is we're finding out a lot more things about all of that. But I tell you what, allegedly back, in the early 90s when I was in college, before there was any of this online stuff, the only way to really do sports betting was through a bookie. And we may or may not have had a friendly connection with someone that was able to take our
There's no bookies in Chicago. Come on. I
was here.
There's no corruption in Chicago.
I was already down here.
Oh, you're already
I was already down
the
here.
capital of fraud.
Yeah, right.
You're in the
I was
capital
already
of
down
fraud.
here. So,
okay.
But anyway, it was good. They come out with these little cards, and you could pick all your college games, and do your parlays and all that. Hey man, listen, when it was baseball, I did great. Because I was really into the game at that point. I knew. I knew a lot of. I watched all of the teams and I paid attention to all of that stuff. Football, I was decent. Basketball, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Just wouldn't touch it. because it was too crazy. So yeah, but anyway, I just got to the point where I was like, I went on a bad loss streak. What happened was, honestly, I got some bad news on the phone, and I promise you, this was during the World Series, 1993. I got bad news on the phone.
PTSD
And
story
yeah,
right now.
yeah, it was the Toronto Blue Jays, ironically, in the World Series now. That was the Joe Carter Toronto Blue Jays going with the Philadelphia Phillies. And great World Series, by the way, and I was winning so much. It was so good. I mean, I'm getting so much for me. It was $25 bets at that time. Was a lot.
All right.
In college, I ain't had no money. I was playing on house money at that point. I'm winning. So anyway, but man, I got a bad phone call, and the tides turned the opposite way. I lost the next 2 games, including the Joe Carter walk-off home run, and he won the World Series. And I'm like, yeah. So all of that good karma I was rolling through and the money, I walked away with nothing. I was so heartbroken I didn't place another bet for probably 3 years.
Okay.
That's how much I don't lose well. So I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I took a loss the other day and they look normal. Man, I take that to work with me, man. I'm miserable when I lose my money, man. So I'm not a good gambling loser.
Okay.
So if I'm going to bet, it's going to be me and you out there doing something. And even then, I don't like to do it. Even now in golf, I don't like to bet because it changes the game. I go from having a good time to helicopter in the club 30, 40 yards down the field. I don't want to do that
I
no
haven't
more.
Seen you throw a club ever.
Because we don't bet.
Okay.
There you go. So that's what it is. So I'm able to manage my cool and have fun. So, but sports betting, I did do it one time in Vegas.
Okay.
I actually did okay.
Okay.
I won, but it was so overwhelming looking at all of those screens, man. Vegas had me mind blown out there looking at all the screens and doing the bets and stuff like that. But nothing freaked me out than going to a basketball game in recent years and seeing all of the sports betting right there in the stadium.
Yeah.
But yet they don't want the players to bet. They don't want. Wait a minute. How's that? How is betting now a good thing for the NBA, NFL, MLB? Because every other commercial, at least during the daytime, you're getting all of the drugs, commercials that with the 7,500 side effects,
including death.
Especially death. And then during the games, they just replaced that with the sports book. They got Kevin Hart, they got all of the big names, they got all these people paid to come over here to encourage you to bet. But then in the bottom it says, if you have a problem with gambling, dial 1-800. But then the players who are the most hyper-competitive people in the world, they can't bet. And when they do, they get in trouble.
Well, they bet against themselves, and then all of a sudden, their defense is not on point that night, and they turn the ball over at the right time to not cover the spread, or they run out the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And so it's fishy. It doesn't pass the smell test anymore.
I tell you what, man, the one thing I can definitely tell you is that beyond a shadow of a doubt, everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. I don't care how good and how much you love competing, and you could be the baddest SOB in the world, but boy, they will find that number, and next thing you know, that ankle who felt just fine suddenly
is sprained.
Man, you rolled that puppy, and next thing you know, you're out here looking like a fool, man. But it is they said money is the root of all evil. I say the lack of money is the root of all evil.
Okay.
And the only thing better than having money is getting more money, So if there's more to obtain, so even with these players, they might be making a few $1 million a year or a whole lot of $1 million a year. But we've discussed in the past how Jordan's gambling habits back in the day, it was nothing for him to go out there and drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on whatever his gambling was, whether it be golf or
the 18 months that he spent in baseball is allegedly a suspension,
it's
an unofficial suspension.
Unofficial suspension,
right?
And hey, but that was the NBA taking care of itself,
and
right?
People think his father got murdered, because of his gambling debts. I don't know if I buy it. I don't know if I believe anything.
Yeah.
We're the podcast twins. I'm Drew. That's Vince. Gold and silver aren't just history. They're security. That's why we partner with Miles Franklin.
And if you just call 952-929-7006 or email them at info@milesfranklin.com, tell them that the podcast twins sent you. You'll get preferred pricing and you'll get very well taken care of by them.
Real talk, real value, Miles Franklin.
Yeah. We don't know what to believe on that one, but we're just going to say that
how many people just got arrested?
It's so ironic.
Allegedly arrested.
Yeah.
To
well,
Chauncey Billups,
right.
And I heard LeBron's name, but he ain't arrested.
No.
Big surprise.
And he won't be.
Of course not.
So, listen, man, I tell you what, I was just sitting here and I got this article sent to me about the Terry Rozier. He faced $8 million tax lien from the IRS in 2023. So this is the Miami Heat's player, Terry Rozier, who the Heat gave up draft picks for and all this other stuff. He became the starting guard. And he's in this thing with the whole fix thing. So, when you start looking at your millions of dollars in debt, any good gambler gonna say, I know how to fix that. I mean, we don't know if that was his reason or how far or how long he had been involved in these gambling schemes, but...
And the timing of it is kind of peculiar too, right? The FBI's taking shrapnel on a bunch of other things, right? They're taking shrapnel on Charlie Kirk. They're taking shrapnel on the alleged Epstein files that no longer exist. So now they need a win.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden... Oh, yeah, this has been going on for 25, 30, 45 years.
Yeah.
Let's pick now.
I think the FBI is trying to become a superstar. I'm just saying, they used to like to operate in the shadows. I think we got a little reverse Gottiism here.
They're still operating in the shadows.
Yeah, but I think they like to be in front of the cameras now these days. But regardless, so as we saying, even if they started going after the 4 of the 5 mob families that the country has notoriously been known for, 4 of the 5 were implicated, but the only names and faces we've seen is NBA players. So is that low-hanging fruit for clicks and for camera time, or is it that those gentlemen in the 5 families are like, look, we'll come in, but you're not going to embarrass us like that. You know what I mean? What is it? Because why would you not blow? If you're trying to become a superstar, Mr. Cash Money, if you're trying to become a superstar out here in this world, why wouldn't you blast them out? Become the new Elliot Ness. When he did it, but again, even Elliot Ness, back when he was after Capone, they said he was out there trying to get his own glory, and he was saying, "No, I'm out here trying to do my job." See these parallels that happen? We talked about parallels on the show before.
There's no parallels. It's not like history repeats itself because they orchestrate it.
Yeah,
Come on, that's crazy.
We talked about parallels.
Vince, that's crazy.
Okay, yeah. So let me not do that. But the gambling aspect of it is, hey, listen, if I did go to your guy and I got into him for a couple of mil, and I just happen to be like, man, I know how to wipe my debt clean,
and not get my legs broken.
Right, because when you're the better, you think, hey man, once I give you yours, we're good. So that ain't the way the big boys think out there.
Let's ask a deeper question. How do we get an inside information on this? Because it's illegal to insider trade, but it's not. You're already doing something illegal. So who do we have to talk to say like, oh look, Patrick Mahomes ain't going to have a good day today. Maybe you should bet against the Chiefs.
Well.
Or Tua Tagovailoa is going to throw 5 interceptions today because he's paid off. Let's bet all our money against the Dolphins today. Like, how do we find out that information? Because if I don't get that information by the time I go to Vegas, I'm playing poker only against drunks.
Yeah.
I need a drunk table. I'll even tip the person who sits you down and say, look, sit me at the table with at least 5 wasted people.
I get you. But, okay, so inside information is like the Damon Jones aspect of this story. Now, we know that part of the story stinks really bad because Damon Jones is LeBron's main main guy. Like, he was an average player. I mean, anybody that makes an NBA roster is a good player, but he was no superstar by a far stretch. But he and LeBron got along great. Wherever LeBron went, he made sure that Damon got on that roster. And when you got that kind of power, you can make things like that happen. Now his alleged issue is that he shared the information that Mr. LBJ was not going to play the next day. And he would share that information out to those people. Now, what they did with that information, that's up to them. I just happen to be talking to some of my homeboys and mention, oh yeah, Bron got a scheduled rest day, or he, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I could see his defense. I don't know how strong it is, but I could see where it might come from. But that's where they're saying that he was doing, is sharing that kind of information when the greatest player in the game was not going to be suiting up that night. He was going to come out there in his Giorgio Armani, whatever designer suit,
ugly ass suit,
and sitting on the sidelines. What an advantage that would be to a person that wanted to lay heavy bets on that night against that particular team, whichever one it was. So, that's about as inside as it can get. Now, I can't help you before you go to Vegas, because I don't know nobody that's in the game right now. I don't know anybody that's in the World Series. I don't know anybody that's playing hockey. All my guys that I know that played with, they're all retired or coaching.
Okay, so no sports betting.
No sports betting
all
from
right,
me to you.
Got it.
But I think that this situation that we're talking about with the Roziers and Chauncey Billups and all this. Now, Chauncey Billups.
But they had this.
Let's go on to Chauncey Billups
Well, before
for a
you
second.
get to Chauncey, they had the same type of scandal with the referees back in the 90s, right?
Not even the 90s.
I'm sorry, was it the 80s?
Recently.
Okay, but I mean, there was one in the 90s.
Yeah.
So every few years, they gotta like clean house and get new shills in there, or what?
Listen, man, I don't care what your profession is. It's a microcosm of society. You can have a great police officers. The majority of them are great, but you're going to have those one or two bad apples that's going to make your organization look bad. Fire department, anywhere. So same thing with that. You mean to tell me that, and go back to my original statement of everybody has a price, when they got to that NBA ref, the latest one, man, I can't call his name right now. Curve, maybe you get his name for me. They even did a whole special on him on TV and he was even saying how many of them were involved. He got busted, but come on, man, you can look at some of these calls, these little ghost calls like that, and next thing you know, they falling out. And Tim, whatever his name was. But anyway, look, you're making a decent salary as an NBA referee, but now you got an opportunity to, set your family up for generations to come.
I mean, they did it in college back then too, and they got caught for shaving points.
Tim Donaghy. So yeah, and he did the whole deal, but again, like he said, if you think I was alone, you're crazy. And again, there's other people that just make things happen. So listen,
David Stern?
No, he did. The new one. Skinny man, Adam Silver was like, hey, we want to make sure that our game is clean, and Cash Money said he want to make sure that our entertainment is pure, and so and basically off of hard work and efforts. And okay, but how are you going to take that person who is a competitor by nature, and now you gotta, there's always enough money to overcome that. There always is. It was just like when the steroids entered the game of baseball, into all the sports. It's like, hey, here's an edge. I can give you this edge. In the 40s and 50s, it was amphetamines that they was giving these players. Hey, here's an edge.
They called them greenies.
Greenies
right?
and reddies, yes. So there's an edge you can give somebody that's a hyper-competitive person that wants to win. The degenerate in you is when you have to actually do something to make your team lose or to shave down. that's when you feel that degenerate feeling of, oh my God, I can't believe I really just did that. But that also goes to show you how deep you're in. Because the people who, hey man, the Pete Roses of the world, he was a gambler. But like he said, all of them have the same MO. They're hyper competitive. They love the edge. They love that rush. They love that feeling. There's other people out here, I won't call no names, that I play golf around. They won't play golf if you're not betting them. These are former professional athletes. I'm not even going to pick a sport. Former professional athletes, they won't even play with you if you're not gambling. And so I'm like, well, I guess we're never playing because I'm not playing against you, whether I can compete or not. But I was going back to the Chauncey Billups because you're getting ready to go and play cards. This guy, and I love Chauncey Billups, even though I hated the Pistons.
He was a Piston.
Yeah. One of the greatest. Probably one of the greatest backcourts in the game, and they gave my Bulls absolute hell. Oh, God. Anyway, but they made Jordan a better player. But either way, but
yeah,
Chauncey,
they kicked the crap out of him.
Oh, they beat him up. They beat him up bad. But Chauncey was allegedly bringing in his friends to play on this X-ray table and X-ray glasses and set up. Man, you jamming the homies up, dog? Come on, man. Come on. But again, how deep were you in for you to have to agree to do something like that?
I mean, they had the same thing with Lamar Odom on the Heat. And he was on the Lakers, and he had that huge debt in Vegas or whatever. Barkley was notorious for gambling.
Yep.
Like, you could go down the list. This has been happening for 50 years.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to listen to it when I was a kid.
Right.
Because denial is a very powerful emotion.
And it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Denial feels great.
Yeah.
But I would still say, even with that being the case, man, I think that man, you're a head coach. How deep were you in? Because I always felt that he was, and again, I don't know these people personally, and that's always my number one.
I don't know.
You guys have always heard me say that about politicians, about all these other people. They don't deserve to be put on a pedestal. You don't know them personally. But he always came across as somebody with extreme integrity. He was a strong leader, which is why he's a head coach today, because he was a great leader on the basketball court back then. Ice cold veins, man. Man could make a shot, didn't care. But I think that he would have to be so deep. I don't think that he would have that concept in his head to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to steal Kirkton's money today. I just don't see him having that concept, but I can see him being put in a position of saying, man, I either need all my money today or I need your help getting that money. And all your rich friends are going to help me get my money back.
Well, I'm just going to have Coach Kirkton work on my poker game so that it's sharp for when I get there. Because you just convinced me, unless I know the end of the game before the beginning of the game, it's a sucker bet. It's all sucker bets.
It's all sucker bets. The house always wins. I learned that early in life. The house always wins. So therefore,
I'm going to reread Doyle Brunson's book on poker on the plane.
Okay.
That way I'll be ready and sharp, because I am not betting on any sports now. I'm done.
Listen,
I'm quitting.
Man,
I'm out.
Because you don't know what you're betting on. But again, even with that, the house always wins.
No,
which is why when I double,
the house takes their rake in poker too. But at least I'm not playing against the house. I'm playing against a group of drunk people.
Yeah.
Which I like my odds. Again, I like my odds better against a group of drunks that are just there to have a blast and lose money.
That is true.
Than against the sports book, which they're gonna win no matter what. And I don't know the outcome before the game starts, like the people that are actually winning consistently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I have one of those accounts. I have a sports book account. Opened it up whenever it first got legal, that first weekend. I opened it up. I put $100 in there, and I said, the moment I ever get back to $100, I'm pulling that money out and I'm closing it. I haven't done so. I've done
But
well.
but you got to be careful with sports books online too, and the ones in the casinos, because they'll give you a bonus, and then they'll tell you have to bet the money 800 times before you do a withdrawal. So you got to be real careful with those too.
Yeah, I'm listen, but again,
I get it.
I'm
I get
fortunate.
it. No, I get it. Yeah.
I've done well. My little account has been up around $400 and $500.
So you do know who's gonna win before the game starts.
I take my chances very smart, but I do mine on $5 bets. When I do, it's a $5 bet and then every now and again I'll get a little ballsy, and I'll run a parlay for $5. And sometimes they hit. That $5 turn into 50, 60, 70 bucks. Sometimes it don't. But I try to hedge my bets because,
So
again,
in other
I try
words-
not to bet emotionally if I bet at all, because I hate losing.
So in other words, you are not getting comped at the Bellagio
Oh, no.
suites because
No.
you lose tons of money.
No.
I got you.
So that's funny. when the Hard Rock got redone down here, right, and you had to get a player's card. Okay, I didn't know this. I went with I had some female friends that they frequent this place quite often, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go. I don't bet. This is what I told them. I don't bet like that. And it was like, man, look, it's cool. Come down, bring it. I got my little player's card. Man, I thought I was somebody. And I had my little Hard Rock player card. Ping, ping, ping. I'm good. So I go in there, and they get going. And I said something to one of the young ladies. I said, blah, 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 blah. She never heard me. She was locked in, zoned in. I mean, locked all the way. And I was like, look, I'm leaving. Why? Because I took $100 bill. I put it in one of those little computer tabletop games. Boom, put the 100 in. I was gonna play whatever. I think I was playing $20 hands. I said, I got 5 shots, that's it. First one, hit. $500 cash out. I was in the car in 15 minutes. I went and told them I was leaving. They never heard me.
Yeah, I'm sure not.
Because they were so locked in. I cashed out, took my little player's card. I never scanned it again. Never went back. Because again, man, look, I don't play
I mean,
like that.
I don't plan on playing that much poker, but I will when I'm in the casino play poker.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be perfect weather. End of November, beginning of December in Vegas is absolutely beautiful. Write the check, Las Vegas.
That's it.
And I can't wait.
Man, listen, it's always good to get away. You and the wife gonna have a great time out there together. Anything else you plan to do out there? You gonna catch a show, do anything else like that?
I like comedy shows. We've been to a couple of really good ones.
Okay.
So maybe a comedy show, maybe whatever. But
I tell you what, if you get a chance
what
to
you
see,
got? What you got?
I don't know if he's still out there or not, but I tell you, years ago, I had a very, very close family friend who became the musical director for Barry Manilow.
Okay.
So I'm out there with my nephews getting married. They was like, hey, we're going, Ronnie's the musical director. We got tickets. We're going to go see Barry Manilow. I was like, man, I don't want to go see no Barry Manilow. I knew he was a good musician, but I was like, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to figure out something else to do. Now, I ain't got no money. But I was like, hey, I'm going. So anyway, they convinced me to go. Man, when I walked out of that show, I was like, Barry's the man.
I would never in a million years
Barry-
expect to hear that out of you.
Barry, well, because again, every TV show in the 70s
Yeah.
and the 80s, he wrote most of the jingles, the music for the shows.
for the shows, yeah.
So it's like, man, I remember that. I remember this TV show. I remember that.
Okay.
But then also a lot of the radio hits I also knew. Just being a kid coming up in that Manilow era. Now, I never listened to a station that played it, but it was so global because of TV and the way TV was in the 70s and 80s. He was everywhere, and that concert made me realize he was everywhere.
I mean, I appreciate the tip and the advice. My wife is 35 years young. We ain't going to see Barry Manilow.
I'm
Probably not going.
I'm
So,
just saying, it blew my mind. But there was a bunch of shows that was out there I wanted to go back and see, but that was the one I did go and see, and I was so reluctant to go.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there, was like, man, I'd do it again.
So, but I'm different. I'm more excited about going to Valley of Fire and Red Rock Canyon and going to drive around in the middle of nowhere with the land, that I was talking about, than I am actual Vegas.
Okay.
Like Vegas. So
Yeah. No, man.
I'll let you know when I get back.
Hey, man,
I don't know
look,
what I'm going to do. I'm going to wing it. I got no kids and no dog to worry about. I'm going to have fun.
All I know is if I get a call and saying, hey, swing by, grab my kids, meet us in Vegas, I know you hit big. And guess what? I'll grab them, I'll put them on the plane, and we'll be out there in a heartbeat,
I love it. Done. Absolutely.
Hey, Vegas, this was for you. So I need you guys to come back out here and send us a check. We will make sure we do a Vegas episode quite often.
There will be another one so that you can tell me, I can tell you all about my trip.
Right, absolutely. And, and I think that was one of the original places for the gold rush, right?
Yeah.
And we do a little something with gold and silver these days, right?
We do a little something with gold and silver.
So, so, hey, man, we can combine all of that right now. But, hey, NBA, buckle up. I think more is to come. I think your boy over there, Cash Money Records, he want to be a superstar on TV. So I think he's gonna make it blast out. So it's gonna be interesting to see by the time you come back.
If the FBI wants to be a superstar, all they got to do is put LeBron in prison, and they'll be superstars.
Yeah, but for doing what? For flopping?
Oh,
you
dude.
can't put them in prison for flopping.
I got receipts. I posted a few videos today actually of him dogging it and not covering the spread or losing the game at
okay.
Oh yeah, take a look.
Take a look. Listen, but you can say that about any basketball player. You can say that about any player because everybody ain't hot every night.
You can't hide anymore, man. Every camera angle from every
spot
no doubt.
There. But, I mean, now as far as the flopping, we see that. He ain't been hit once, but he been crying a million times. But other than that, I don't know if that's a punishable offense, but here's the funny thing. Are they going to be able to link up the fact that he told Damon that he's not playing and that go, ooh. We don't know. We don't know how deep this goes, but we're going to stay tuned because by the time he comes back from Vegas, no, you guys have been seeing this one already. Anyway, we're going to keep you guys informed on everything we got going on. I want to thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching us every single solitary week. Please subscribe. Send this to somebody else, man. Help us get up there, build this algorithm so we can get out there and break this shadow ban that I believe we've been under lately. So
allegedly.
Did I say that out loud?
Allegedly.
Okay. So we can break through. So let's tag it. So I tell you what, if you see this video, just comment Vegas below.
Okay.
All right, do that for me.
From the Twin Cave in Coconut Creek, Podcast Twins out.
We are out.